Hey everybody, it's Rachel here at rachthestamper.wordpress.com, and today I want to show you how to make this really beautiful card made out of the Botanical Blooms framelits, and I also use the Botanical Blooms stamp set. But what this card is, it's called a double gatefold card, and I got this idea from Dawn Griffith, a card that she had a while back with the C Street stamp set. Ooh, that was a tongue twister. And this card is really, really, really pretty from the front, but then on the inside, it opens up. You can even put little cutouts in it. So it's like a little peekaboo picture card. And I made this into a Mother's Day card because I thought if there's not someone who deserves a beautiful card that you've made more than anyone, it has to be your mother. So this is a really pretty card. You could also put a lot more decorative flowers on here if you'd like. You could leave it plain and simple if you'd like, but just the front of this card is beautiful. Even if you ended up just making this card and you didn't even do the fold, would be a really beautiful card. But it is so simple, so I just want you to watch and see how easy it is to make this great card. What I did is I started with a base of Cajun Craze. Oh, I feel like I'm doing tongue twisters today. And what I'm going to do is get out my Simply Scored tool. And we're going to take our card in, this is the landscape. We're going to do the portrait first, and we're going to score this at 4 1/4. And you don't have to have the Simply Scored tool. You can also absolutely use your Stampin' Trimmer for this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to score this at 2 3/4. And then you can either do it, flip it around and do it again at 2 3/4, or you could score it at 8 1/4. So 2 3/4 again. Okay, perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to grab our scissors and our bone folder. So super important that you really give a good pressing down when you're folding this card, just so it stays nice and flat, because it is kind of a thick card. So you want to just enforce your folds here. And same thing again. Alright, and now you're going to grab your scissors and we're going to cut on our score line. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just take, it's just kind of called like a notch cut. Basically just trimming just a little piece of the edge off, and you're kind of just trimming off really the edge of your score line, just because it makes the card fold so much nicer. And then same thing again, I'm going to cut this here at the score line, and then we're going to trim off our little notch piece. Okay, and that's it. That's all you have to do for this. Now all you have to do is decorate it. So what I decided, I thought that Very Vanilla looked really, really pretty with this color combination. So we're going to use 3 pieces of Very Vanilla cut at 4 1/4. I'm sorry, cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to have one on each of the insides and then one on the front. So we're going to just put those down. And you can make this card, that's the beauty about this card. It's really can be super detailed. You could cut out a whole mess of flowers with that Botanical Blooms framelit, thinlits, keep calling the wrong thing, set. Or you could just use the stamp set, the Botanical Blooms stamp set, to decorate it instead if you just wanted to stamp it. And then the other thing that I have for this, so there you see, this is what it's going to look like on the front, is I have a piece, where did I put it? I have a piece of Mossy Meadow that I actually already cut out to lay on top of this. I just have to trim just a teeny hair off of it so it fits. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay. Let's see what this one looks like. See how that fits. Just a hair more. right. That should be perfect. And you can lay this either direction. This first one I laid to the left, but you could lay it so it was coming down, so it was going up. It really is, you know, completely your preference. So what we'll do for this one, just gonna take this little nip off. There. I'm gonna put this the other direction. So just a little bit of snail. And we're going to adhere this to the front of our card. And then I went ahead and cut out some flowers to use. And the other thing is you can pick any kind of paper that you like. So this is a great way if you don't really know what to do with your designer series paper. This is a great way to use a lot of it. You get to see two different sides. So this is actually the opposite side, and this is the botanical, I think they call it the botanical blooms. Botanical gardens, I'm sorry. So I used this one here, and then I used the dark side for the inside. So I think for this next one, we're going to use these flowers and the leaves. So I went ahead and had those all cut out, and these measure 4 by 2.5. So what we'll do is we'll put these, I think, on the outside, and then we'll put the leaves on the inside. And you could even do them if you wanted to do half of one and half of another. So we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive. You could do mix and match, really. I'm going to put a little bit of snail adhesive on each one of these. And we're just going to stick these onto the panels, just like so. And then the same thing on the inside. So on the inside, I think we're going to go with the leaves on the outside. So once again, we'll just put a little bit of adhesive. And we'll stick these on the inside of those panels. I'm just going to make them so they're slightly facing the same direction. Okay. And now would be the time if you decided that you wanted to do a little peekaboo. I use the 1 1/4 inch punch. Only thing is, if you do this, just make yourself aware it is 3 layers of paper you're punching through. So it's going to be a little bit of a pop. You could put one there, one at the bottom. You could put none if you don't like that at all, whatever you want to do. And then what you can do is you can either also stamp an image onto a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and you can lay it on there, or if you have an image that you think is going to match up. So for instance, I used this one earlier, and we'll use the Tangelo twist. And what I did for this one is I just closed it so I could see where my image went. Pretty. And then when you open it up, there it is. You could put some words in there. There's some really great sayings that came with the new paper pumpkin as well. And then the other thing we're going to do is we'll just put some flowers onto the front. So I did this with some mini glue dots. These are some flowers I punched out earlier with the botanical framelits. Let's see. Oh, where's an orange one? Another thing you can do with these, I've seen another demonstrator do this, that you just kind of curl the edges up with your bone folder. It kind of makes them look slightly more realistic. The only thing is you just have to be careful because they do rip a lot easier than you think they would. Let's put a nice yellow one on here. And how about I put a little bit of a Lost Lagoon star on the inside of this flower. And you can also really pop these flowers up with dimensionals if you wanted to. That would also make it look really pretty. And one bit of advice, if you are going to mail this card, you might want to cut yourself out a little piece of cardstock that you're not quite so in love with and put it on the front of it, just so none of your flowers get ruined if you're mailing it. You might need to put a little bit of extra postage on there as well, but just one little piece of advice just to make sure it gets there without all this work you put into it. You don't want it to get ruined. You could put another thing, you could put some pearl jewels into the center of your flowers. You could put some rhinestones onto the center of your flowers if you want a little bit more bling. And again, you can do your sentiment. You could do actually your Mother's Day on your front sentiment. What I did with that earlier is I used the decorative label punch to put that on there. You could make this into a happy birthday, going away, if you know someone's going on vacation. The possibilities are really endless for this. It's a beautiful card, and this Cajun Craze really is such a beautiful color. I really truly think so, especially with the very vanilla. Just the two of those colors go together so well. So there's just some ideas of something else you could do with this card. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. You can reach me at rachthestamper.wordpress.com. You can shoot me an email or a message at rachthestamper@gmail.com. If you want to buy all of these fantastic products and more, you can visit my online store at rachthestamper.stampinup.net. I hope to hear from you soon. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks, and hope you enjoy this beautiful card.